All right, let's talk about Waterskip fairway drivers. This is something that I was kind of reluctant to try, but there'd been a bit of buzz about the Sampo Waterskip, so I wanted to check it out for myself. And I've had it in the bag for about a month now. Jury's kind of still out. It is multifunctional. It works on holes other than water holes, so that's why it's been in for a month. But some of the water skip holes really helpful on. So I don't know, it's just a tough decision, but I wanted to show you a few I've been using it on, and you can decide for yourself. And some of these lines came from Aaron Christensen. Some came from Steve R. Uh, I don't know where some of the other ones may have come from. Attribution is always kind of tricky in the valley. But anyway, one of the primary reasons I wanted to check it out is this hole, Ikigai Springs, hole 8. And I think its functionality is primarily limited to adverse winds. Any favorable winds, I think the Sapphire, backhand onto the island is still a pretty good play. And perhaps even safer than this one. This one does have some risk. Anytime you have a water skip disc in play, there's some risk involved that you may not get the water skip if you get too close to the shore, etc. But here we have a 3 wind out of the right. Pretty difficult wind with the traditional play. I'm going to take the accurate water skip Sampo. I'm going to put the top chevron at the base of that little green tree right there. And then we'll give it, I got to switch to forehand. Give it just a touch of Anheuser, not too much because the wind's going to push me down to the left side anyway. And we'll see how this works out today. And it usually skips off this bank, ends up on the green. That's very nice. So that is a great play in a very adverse wind. Multiplayer, if you don't have that disc and that line, it's probably a birdie play for you. So that's a potential for some strokes on folks. So let's look at some other holes where it may be useful. Lost Island, hole 4. This is one where the traditional play, lay up around to the left and then throw in from 70 or 80 feet is not really that difficult, but it does make it a little easier, obviously, because you can drive the island with this. Now, it's again not without some risk, but if you get it dialed in, it'll look something like this. And this is one of the risks is getting caught behind this tree, but here I've got a 54 foot instead of the standard 70 or 80 foot throw in now. So definitely a little less stress. Lakeside hole 9, again, I think it's most beneficial in some adverse winds like this one here, where that 3 winds going to try to push you off the island green. You take the Sampo, and what you can do is lay up to this middle island right here as soon as the boat clears. And it's a good distance if you get it dialed in here. Should get one skip onto the island and then sit down. Oh, just barely. And then from here, obviously got a little uh, nicer look at the green without having to go big bomber and drive out the island. 287, and I mean, I could even go warship here. So drop that on the island, and I'm safely on the green. No worries. So it can make Lakeside 9 a little easier in some challenging winds, and it can also give you a look for the Albee too, although that's a little risky because you can easily throw off the backside of the island if you're not careful. Frozen Valley hole 3, another one where the water skip might be a good option in some adverse winds. Here we have a 3 headwind out of the left. Would normally be strictly a birdie play, but if we can get lucky with the water skip, see if we can get one skip off the water here and then land on the ice, hopefully. This is still going to be a long look, but it's a much safer look than what I would get from the shore. Here, if I miss, I'm still going to be very safe for the birdie. So 150 with a 3 headwind, but it's elevated basket, so we'll go about 150 still. Yep, just did miss. But as you can see, landed safe, still got the birdie in play. Highlanders Ridge, hole 3, if you're worried about the wind pushing you into the water, then just use the water skip disc, right? And skip off the water. This is if you're just playing for birdie. But usually a pretty safe play to that spot right around there. Cahoe Backwoods, hole 9. You can go over the lake with this, and with most winds, it's a pretty good disc. Doesn't work in a 3 headwind very well. You have to disc up, but the Sampo with a lot of tailwinds, at least, really nice distance for this hole. Doesn't overshoot the green. Usually ends up very close to the pin. Perfect. Nice little 14-foot putt for eagle. And like I said, really to me, water skip has to be multifunctional if it's going to stay in the bag. And the Sampo with the distance between a musket and a sapphire is very nice for some holes. This is one, Cahoe Backwoods 5, where the distance and the ground play is pretty nice. Put you right where you want to be for the easy birdie. All right, so that's I think it for a quick look at fairway water skips. I can't tell you whether you should or not. Slots are precious. Like I say, the Sampo has been in my bag for about a month. We'll see if it stays. I am liking it so far, so I think right now I'm leaning towards keeping it, and we'll see what the future brings. All right, hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you around the valley.